Here we are, guys. Good to see you again, once again, on a Thursday night, hanging and banging with your host, Ron Onesti from Rock and Roll Heaven in St. Charles, Illinois. Actually, right now, I'm at my Des Plaines Theater, a new place we opened up back on Halloween. On Halloween, we opened it up with Kevin Costner. If we build it, he came. It was really cool. But once again, I want to welcome you guys. We are here ready to rap with some of the biggest guys in rock and roll. And first I got to do is bring my brothers to the microphone. We got some great stories with these guys this week. It's been a busy week, especially for my little brother, Vinny. Let's bring Vinny to the microphone. Vinny Appice. What's up, brother?
I'm still in shock from being stuck on the
Well, we got to hang on. You know what
rides.
I'm going to do? Well, first of all, let me just say hi to, hey, Billy Uglinson. Nice to see you guys. Mark is up. Ann is on. Heidi. All our Paul, Melinda.
Heidi.
Yeah, Heidi's on.
Hi, Heidi.
You guys, I am Stevenson from South Carolina. They like rock and roll down there. So good to see you guys. You guys are always supporting us every week. And don't think I don't see all these chats. It's hard to get to them. But if there's anything that you want to know or anything you want to say tonight, it would be great to say it because we are going to be doing a couple reruns the next couple weeks. So if you got anything to say, let me know. How you doing, Ricky? Good to see you again. David, always supporting us. Mr. Rios, from, what is that, Montecito, California, to you, Vinny, hello. But before we keep going with our chats, yeah, these are all fans of yours, brother. Let's bring our big brother to the mic here. Carbide Apiece. Come on, Carmanuch. Look how nice you've combed your hair tonight. Look how pretty he is.
Look at that, huh? I'm in a new environment. Look where I am. I'm in New York now. This is the New York house.
New York. It's amazing how you're literally traveling all over the world from week to week to week. Is funny.
Next week I'll be back in Florida. I tell you what, I got killed here with allergies. I thought I had COVID yesterday. I went for 2 COVID tests, both negative. And I said, man, it must be allergies. I'm not used to this anymore. Yeah, Florida, you don't have this pollen crap. Everything's over, everything's there all the time.
So before we continue, though, I know your allergies are serious medical issues.
Yes,
however,
it is.
We almost lost our little brother this week, apparently, because
that's what I heard. Somebody called me and told me. I go, I don't know.
I must have got to your brother calls. Vinny's gonna die at the amusement park. Vinny's stuck. They can't get to him. The emergency.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, I'm serious. So tell us, take us down the road. What the hell happened to you this week?
Well, we went to Disneyland. We got free passes and went with our friend Denise, who gets on the rides without the line. We just go up there, hello, take a picture, and we go on. So we got on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and it was rocking. Then all of a sudden it stops. Like, oh shit, what happened? And all the lights come on, and it looked like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Exit signs. There was exit signs everywhere. Like, how to get off? It blew the whole mystique. So we were stuck for about 5 minutes, a little over, and then it continued, and they let us go again. We rode right through it. So then we went over to the Matterhorn. We went on. We were fine, but then when we got off, the thing got stuck, and there was some people stuck in the mountain. You could see them, I'm like, holy shit, they're stuck there. They were stuck there for a while. So I took a picture. I said, well, what the hell? I'll say that I'm stuck. So I put it on Facebook and said that we're stuck on Magic Mountain. and we don't know.
Are
what
you saying
happened.
you weren't stuck?
No, not
No,
on
we weren't
Magic
stuck.
Mountain. You were stuck
No,
on
I mean
Matterhorn.
the Matterhorn, the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
No, we
Well,
weren't stuck.
Let me tell
If
you about.
we
Yeah,
went
finish.
on that moment, we would have been stuck. But it was funny because we just got stuck on the other rides. I see
Yeah.
these guys, they're stuck in the car on the mountain. And I took a picture and posted it. And I said that we were stuck just for fun.
Well,
and then I
everybody
thought,
was so worried.
Yeah.
Then I put a picture of, let me get a picture of like a fire crew, fire engine rescue when these rides get stuck in certain places. I put that
That's
on
terrible.
Facebook too. I said, we're being rescued now, no problem. So I thought it was funny,
let me
but
tell you
everybody took it serious.
Let me tell you my experience at Disney World.
Yeah.
We walked 20,000 steps a day. By the 5th day, my legs were killing me. So I took one of them scooters, and they go so slow. And I got recognized a couple of times at Disney World. So they put your name on the front of the scooter so you don't get mixed up.
Oh, man.
So I flipped it over, right? So we went on the Avatar ride, which is amazing. Come out and we go on the safari, and it starts raining. By the time we got off that ride, it was a full-fledged thunderstorm with the rain
Holy
going
shit.
that way, thunder and lightning. And I'm on this stupid cart with a poncho on, trying to get to the end, to where we came in so I could give it back. And the cart goes slower than walking. It was unbelievable. And then by the time we got there, we were soaking wet. The wind was blowing. I thought I was going to get, COVID that day.
Imagine this freaking rock and roller, badass rock and roller going,
in a cart.
0.6 miles an hour with a poncho on.
Unbelievable.
The people.
So anyway, sorry. I wasn't stuck. I was fine. I'm fine.
Well,
but I almost got hit. I almost got hit by a couple of baby strollers. There's so many strollers there.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, after that riveting story, I think I need to get to our guest tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Just love these guys. Very excited to meet Prescott tonight. Prescott Niles from the Neck, and of course our old buddy Don Jamieson from That Metal Show. Let's bring the boys on. And it's so good to see these guys.
Hey, Prescott.
Hey, Prescott.
Yo, Don.
Oh, remind me not to go to any amusement parks with Vinny or Carmine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't go with us.
Don't go to any Disney parks at all.
Well, you got nothing to worry about. You'll never get stuck with Vinny. You'll just make believe you will be. That's
yeah. We'll make something up.
Yeah. I think you guys might remember I grew up in Brooklyn like those guys. And we used to go to Coney Island. I don't know how many times I got stuck on the Cyclone or on the steeplechase or the fucking merry-go-round. I mean, you'd be up there for hours. You couldn't stream.
You should have called me. I would have taken care of it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. They closed the
I
park.
never heard about Coney Island.
We used to go on rides in Coney Island. My father was a cop then. I don't even know if Vinny was born yet. And we'd go to Coney Island. We go on the free rides, and we get Nathan's free, and it was the soft ice cream free. It was great.
They were awesome.
That's what I hear a lot about Coney Island, stories. Obviously, I'm from Chicago, but Coney Island was the epitome of amusement parks, and it was all like a lot of wood rides. Like it could have broke at any second, right? Scary.
Well, actually, there was only one Cyclone. That's it.
Yeah,
that was it, huh?
One. Yeah, you had steeplechase, which was fake horses going around on a track. That was about it.
Well, it's great to see you guys.
Remember the giant barrel that you had to walk through?
Oh, yeah.
As it was turning to get into it.
Yeah, nothing like a little bit of stuff flying around in that, too.
Yeah.
All I got is a visual of Carmine riding a scooter through the barrel.
You should have taken a picture of that. Oh, my
God. Leslie has a picture of it, believe me.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't let her show anybody.
Don't send it to me.
No,
please. You'll kill you on it. Donnie, it's great to see you, buddy. It's been a little while since you've been on the show. What you been up to lately, man?
I went on the Cyclone, and my neck still hurt.
And he got stuck.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. We're gonna.
Yeah, I didn't know that went off the tracks now. It's a cool ride, but no, you know what? It's been great. I've been out doing my stand up, and the crowds have been awesome, and so live performance is back. You know,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
people want to see me or not, but I'm back out there and doing my thing, man. So it's been good.
But what I hear from everybody, even in my shows that we have here, and especially a lot of the comics that we've been working with too, they're saying that for some reason, either the comics are funnier now, or the people are just willing to laugh more now. Right?
Yeah, you know, it's so funny. You know, before we came on air, I was talking with Prescott about this, and we're in such a crazy hyper PC mode in this country. But I got to tell you, the people that are coming out to the comedy clubs, they just want, because they've been locked up for 2 years, they want you to hit them with everything you got. Anything you want to say, they're ready for it. They're old school. They don't want any of the woke stuff, man. They just want it, you know, straight up and hardcore. So, yeah, it's
everything.
a weird thing, but it's been great.
Dead baby
Cool.
jokes are okay. Just everything. There's no, right? Everything's cool.
Yep.
How about you, Mr. Niles? I know you've been doing a lot of things. You've been recording still, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I'm current, so to speak, but this is why I'm here. This is an album I didn't know existed. It was a live performance we did at the House of Blues shortly after 9/11.
Wow.
And a lot of people asked questions about that, but I didn't know this existed until my friend Tony from Smile Records found it and told me he's putting it out. And it wasn't such a weird night after all. If it was in New York, I tell people, you know, it's one thing to go out of your house and see the skyline gone, you know, which is, you know, after seeing it all your life, and you know, from Brooklyn to Manhattan. But in LA, it wasn't just quite as crazy or frantic, and it wasn't that big. It was a great night. It was sold out. We hadn't played together for a number of years. Had a new drummer to add to the list of acclaimed drummers in the NAC, and it was a great night. So they found this, put it out, and so far it's doing well. Record Day was on the weekend, signed some stuff, and the album's coming out May 6th, and DVDs as well. Oh no, I'm sorry.
That's gonna be.
So who knew?
That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. You know, we touched on this before. I didn't want to. I've always wanted to ask anybody from the NAC the question that I asked you. Is
There's
that
only two of us, so again.
I know. I know. But I did hire you guys. You did a festival for me a few years back, and I couldn't. I always wanted to know why. You had My Sharona, obviously huge, if not the hugest hit, second or third in your set list, as opposed to being the big finish. Was there a reason why you guys did that?
It depends if you had to catch a plane or something. Normally Sharona would come near the end, or as an encore, depended. We had a lot of other songs that were really dynamic, obviously.
Sure.
Sharona was the known song, but we juggled stuff with different lineups, and you know, sometimes we'd open the set with it, and we say everybody can go home now, you know, if you want. So
I know. It was literally like the third song. It was unbelievable. But
what year was that, by the way? What year was that? Do you remember?
1918.
Yeah, right. It had to be probably
what decade?
It was probably 2005.
Okay, yeah, that was in. We actually, Pat Torpey was playing with us then. We had changed drummers once again, and we had the good fortune to have Pat Torpey.
Hey, you know what? I'm not going to play with you guys. Every drummer you have dies. What's that about?
Yeah, that's true.
Almost. No, Billy Ward's still around, and you know, Billy Ward, the New York drum is fantastic, and also Terry's still around, luckily. So we're not a curse, you know. So but anyway, so we did a lot of shows, and I'm glad you saw us play. And
it's fabulous.
Had
Fabulous.
A good live band. Burton was a brilliant guitar player as well. It made it more interesting. You know?
Well, that was the interesting thing, because that night I was, you know, again, Sharona comes on second or third, and frankly, I was like, wow, now what? You know, what's going to happen? I wasn't as well versed as I am now with the NAC catalog, and I'm telling you, the show was so freaking electric and exciting. It became a huge dance party. It was a fabulous, fabulous show.
Well, thanks. And by the way, Sharona didn't have to be what it became. I mean, we played a lot of live shows through the years. I mean, having a hit is great, but the fact that we can hold people's attention as a band, whether the song's heard or not, is a good thing. And
it had a great drum part.
Thank
Great
you.
sound, too.
Bruce Gary,
Bruce
Carmine's favorite, and Vinny, I'm sure,
Yeah.
came up with a fascinating flam idea, and a lot of people have to jam with. They play it straight, and it's all flams, which made the song very unique as itself, you know?
Well, it's crazy. you have this iconic drum intro that when you hear it, you know what song is coming, and then it follows up by an iconic bass line that if you didn't guess from the drums, then the bass comes in and you know exactly what song it is. So that you mean that rhythm section on that song in particular is just so identifiable.
Yeah.
And what's really great is one take. You know, one thing about us, when people call us one-hit wonders, we were one-take wonders as far as I'm concerned. I mean, all the first album was rhythm tracks were one-takers, and Sharona was one take because we were really good players, and Burton was a brilliant guitar player as well, which made it life easy for all of us, you know.
Who was Sharona? Who was Sharona?
Sharona was a girl that used to come to the NAC shows with some of her girlfriends, and she had a boyfriend, so she waited till we were number one and then broke up with her boyfriend. And after somebody writes a song about you, what are you going to do, right? You got to leave them. But Doug hung out. She was old enough. There's a rumor that she was young or underage. She wasn't. She waited, and Doug had a relationship with her for quite a while, which was that's kind of the myth of the story. And now she's a top real estate agent in L.A. You figured, okay?
Wow.
Can you imagine her? She comes around.
She's
got Sharona on her card, and I'm sure everybody's like, "Oh, remember that song? What does she say?" Yeah, that was me. Yeah, okay.
I called her. I want to get a couple of points from her sales.
Fame.
I'm part of the deal, you know, somehow, right?
She walks in and the song plays too.
Yeah. She's walking on air.
That's a good marketing idea, Vinny.
Yeah, walk in with the song.
I gotta think she's used it once or twice. I gotta think it's already happening.
She did. She's a great mom. She has kids, so she's really matured into an amazing. I always think it's great that she's made more money than all of us combined. I think that's a great story for women. I think, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a little known fact, I guess, is the fact that my Sharona went gold faster than any song since "I Want to Hold Your Hand" by the Beatles in '64. So that was a interesting little thing. Yeah.
Well, but here's the deal. Believe it or not, the single wasn't released. The album was released to radio. We were in Europe, and which was backwards from most how people do it. The record company might release a single to, you know, that's a good single, and the second single would be more of the follow-up. But we gave the album to radio, and within 2 days, it was the most requested song in the U.S. So they had a rush release single, Sharona's a single, and luckily people got to hear the album. So the album was number one most of the summer, and Sharona was pretty close behind. So I'm very proud of the album, and it's resulted in them not releasing the single. There you go. But Mike Chapman actually was the only one who said that's a number one, and Mike Chapman's opinion meant a lot to me. Great producer.
Oh, heck yeah.
You guys were like the American Beatles anyway. The songs were very much Beatle-like.
Yeah, but Bruce was playing like Keith Moon. And
I know, but the songs had the hooks. Like
they had good things too. But again, we only had one lead singer, so when people made comparisons to the Beatles, I always laugh because we only have one singer. So where do you go from there? But anyway, it's another rumor that we had to live with for quite a while.
Well, you bring up the Beatles. You were also I saw another quote that you had you were hired because you had the looks of McCartney and the chops of Entwistle.
Yeah, and I had to keep both kind of at bay, seriously. I had to hold back John Entwistle I saw when I was 15 years old, and that set the high bar. May I digress for 1 second? I was telling Carmine, in 1968, I worked as a fake lifeguard at a famous hotel in upstate New York called the Tamarack. And I don't know if Carl remembers the gig, but I saw the Vanilla Fudge 1 week, the Who played 2 weeks later, and then the Four Tops. And I didn't know it at the time. Jamieson was the bassist.
Oh, wow.
Literally, I saw the three greatest bass players of the time within 6 weeks. And I don't know if you remember that gig, Carmine, the Tamarack Lodge.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
You gotta remember Jamieson.
Well, he wore the white suit.
He's got to remember him.
But I didn't know that till later. But he was an influence growing up. Tim was brilliant. And Whistle was. Jack Cassidy used to see at Fillmore all the time. Carmine will remember what a great sound he got as a bass player too. So I had good roots. Fillmore East was the college of my was the education, all I ever needed. I saw every great band in the world, including Carmine, and I saw him with Jeff Beck as well, which was amazing.
Oh, heck yeah.
Talk about that gig you were telling me about in England.
Oh, I was living in
Crystal
England
Palace.
from 73 to 75, and they played something called Crystal Palace, which is one of the first live gigs with, I think the first gig you played in London, and they had this big pond or whatever, Carmen will tell the story,
in front of the stage. You know,
people were diving in, but he was brilliant, and I love that group live. The record was good, but nothing as good as the way they played live. And Carmine was great, as always. You know,
as always.
Well, Carmine had to tone down his handsomeness like you did because it just got too crazy at
Too
concert.
much.
Yeah.
Carmine had bigger muscles than all of us.
Too many girls. That's why I was married. You know, I tell people I've been married 55 years. They go, "Wow, 5 different women."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, speaking of album sales, Holy Diver went double platinum this week. Isn't that cool?
Kidding.
Wow,
Really?
Yeah, double platinum. They gave me an award. Where is it? Here it is. They gave me a picture. This is what I got.
Congrats. Amazing.
Oops, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
So I can hang this on the wall because it's. I can take it with me too. See?
Yeah.
Some people have platinum records on the wall. You have a photocopy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Now you just got to print out a picture of Grammy.
Are you
It took it
serious?
long
Did
enough.
it go double platinum?
Double
So
platinum.
why don't you get a double platinum?
I am.
And he's
It's in
frozen
the
in
works.
space.
Good.
Digital
It's in the
space.
works.
Hi.
So Don, I want to hear some of your stuff because you know what? I was looking at some of the past clips of you guys on the metal show, and one of my favorite things as I was watching it are your top 10 lists. Who came up with those lists? Was that your gig?
No, I mean, I think, lists are ubiquitous, man. People love lists. And,
They do.
Especially in the rock world, our fans are so passionate, right? That we get really invested in these lists. And it was crazy because, anytime we would do a list, say a top 5 list, no matter what happened, you would get texts after the show aired from Tom Morello or Chris Jericho or Vinny or whoever we knew that knew us directly. And or Mike Portnoy, how could you put this at number 3? This album is so much better or whatever. And, there's no right answer, right? But right. At the end of the day, you got to pick what you think is the best. But it was good because, making lists like that, it just keeps the conversation about this music that we love flowing.
Well, so what do you think was the most ingenious? Because you came up with a bunch of them, top 10.
No, I mean, my list was always right, so it didn't matter.
I know.
Yeah, Eddie put Rush on every list that he did.
I know. Everyone. So funny. It was so transparent. It was like the best mariachi bands, the top 10 mariachi bands. Rush was number 1.
Yeah.
It was
you remember when we and Vinny were on the show? We played for the intro for the commercial break.
Yep.
Jeez, I would love that clip.
Well, those were.
I just sent it to Ben.
That was my biggest thrill. My biggest thrill was getting that because that was my idea originally, was to have a musician come on and play throughout the show in and out of the breaks. But we were only a half-hour show when we started. But when we went to an hour, we figured, all right, we'll have a guitar player on, and then it expanded out to bass players and drummers and everybody else. And to me, that was to have that talent come in like that and grace our stage. That was amazing.
That was a great idea.
I used Vinny's drums that day.
Yeah, the same drums.
Yeah. I sent it to Ben.
You guys made it look
hopefully
good.
Ben's going to let me know when he's got it up, and we'll go to it.
Fun.
Don,
I got the one where Don is introducing it.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to see that in a minute. But Don, I used to obviously watch it all religiously. I mean, it was who we were, what you guys did. You embodied.
I love that.
Oh
show.
my God, It was like heaven. Everybody. And I would not want to see play a little game. I played with myself. I'll be honest with you. Played a little game with myself. I did. I know, right?
What? Wait, you played with
right?
yourself?
But
Wait
I did
a minute,
on purpose.
you just said Ben was going to get it up, and now you played.
No hot in the room, huh?
Listen, action is action these days, gentlemen. I'll be 60 next in a couple weeks next week. But no, I would on purpose not play a little game, not find out who was on the show. It was a thrill to turn it on and see who was appearing, not just the guest, but the musical guest. And did you? What was there was a couple of I don't know, questionable. It seemed like behavioral kind of situations with some of your musical guests. There was a couple actually. I mean, it seemed like to get those guys to sit there and wait for commercial break and stuff. Did you have anything that we didn't see on TV?
Yeah, well, when we had Marilyn Manson on, he used to like to, maybe, have a few before he appeared on the program, maybe some illicit substances. I don't know, whatever he does in his dressing room's up to him. But one time
Talk about playing with yourself.
Yeah, it was like 11 in the morning, and he comes in and he's carrying a bottle of absinthe, and he's drinking straight out of the bottle. And he can't really be drinking absinthe 11 in the morning. That's like the strongest liquor that there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get out on the set, and he puts the bottle on the table, and we're about to start taping, and the producer's like, "Hey, you can't, drink that on the set." So he said, "Hey, can someone get me a cup?" The PA goes and gets a styrofoam coffee cup, puts it on the table. Manson pours the absinthe in, and the cup just disintegrated instantly.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. It's not going to hold that, is it?
No. So it was the real deal.
I tell you what, man, that stuff is brutal. I don't know who the heck can drink that stuff. Oh my gosh. Prescott, you're a very humble rock and roller. Your career is continues to be incredible. Well, I'm just saying, man. I'm looking.
You don't know him.
No, I'm just.
By the way, did you see that picture that was sent to you of a group? There you go.
Oh,
a secret group that never was.
Yeah.
So who's in there?
Who's in that?
Well, Mickey Free.
I know Mickey.
Yeah.
You can do the rest, Carmine. You remember?
Yeah. I remember Mickey.
That's what's his name?
Who's the other guy? Who's the guy next to you?
Yeah, the guy in the Plasmatics.
Oh, right.
John Bichot, and then Mickey Free, who I played with, and Carmen looked fabulous. And we got together at a rock and roll autograph show. We had, jammed on a few things, and unfortunately, that's when Carmen left to redo the Fudge. So we never got a chance to play as a group then. By the way.
That's too bad. But I'm looking at some of the people that you worked with and appeared with, and so many of our guests have played with so many other people.
That's my favorite picture because that was on stage, and you can tell the difference between me and Doug. He's reading Nietzsche, and I'm going, really?
Nietzsche.
Yeah, I had a problem with his philosophies at the time, so that's an honest picture. It was in Playboy as well, so there you go. That's with Dale Bozio, who I'm working with still, Missing Persons. We got a great show coming up. It's the Cruel World show. It's a big, big show coming up with a lot of bands, including Morrissey, Blondie's playing, Devo. It's like 50 bands. So we're playing 2 days. And I love playing Missing Persons songs. So, and Dale's a good friend of mine.
I used to love Missing Persons.
Yeah, that's something we did.
I remember seeing them at the Roxy with Terry.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's wearing the 2 little things on her boobs.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man. What a great show.
Did they meet in Missing Persons or prior to that?
Prior to Missing Persons, when she was a femme fatale, literally a beautiful and a very original dresser. And Lady Gaga popped a lot from her as well. But she has a new book out, and I was looking to see if Carmine's in the book. She had a lot of lovers at the time, but I don't know if Carmine
wasn't me.
It wasn't
other ones.
It wasn't me.
She wasn't one of the 5.
And if she was with Carmine, believe me, it had nothing to do with love.
You are the father.
No, none of that stuff. But it's funny. By the way, I got to say one thing real quick. I was playing with this guitar player. I used to go to Angano's, which Carmine will. It's one of the best nightclubs to see people play and jam at, as well as Steve Paulson. But I met this guitar player, this 15-year-old phenom named Rick Ramirez. I'm sure Carmine remembers the name.
Wow.
So I used to take the train from New York out to Carmine's studio. Phil Basile wanted to manage Rick, so we used to rehearse at his studio. He wasn't around at the time. And I think I saw you when you played in Oceanside at that club there as well. But we were going to be signed to his label.
The Action House.
Yeah, Action House, which was a great place.
Phil owned that place.
Yeah, so anyway, we met. I didn't know Carmine, but I used to take train out there, and Vinny also jammed with us a bit. But I was just saying, I was young, and and then I think he joined Cactus, didn't he, Rick? Right?
Yeah, the Cactus then. Yeah.
Didn't Rick Ramirez play with Boomerang?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine.
He played with Vanilla Fudge for a second too.
Yeah, he was a 16-year. He was like a phenom.
He
He's
was a
brilliant
monster
guy.
player. I hear he's dying. He's dead now, is he?
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well,
Yes.
No.
I'm grateful to be here with two living drummers. And
Yeah, me too.
unfortunately, Bruce Gowrie passed away in 2006.
Oh,
Terry's still with us. Pat Torpy, who is a great drummer.
Yeah.
He passed away.
We played with him in the last few years in the NAC, and he had Parkinson's, and it just was devastating. And we
Who
lost
was
him.
this? Who was that?
Pat Torpy.
Yeah, Pot.
remember
It
Pat
was-
from Mr. Big?
That
Yeah.
was a shame. That was a shame.
He was
What a great guy.
brilliant drummer. And so, it's really hard. And I'm one of the two guys in the NAC left. And it's really strange. Doug passed in 2010. It's strange when you get older that it's not that you get older, but you're missing people that you were close to.
I mean, can you go out? Can you go out as the knack yourself with the other?
Well,
guys?
I've been offered that quite a bit. Burton really kind of lost the rock and roll spirit. He's more comfortable staying at home. But I've been offered lately because we're relevant again for a minute. And I've been offered, different agents have called me. And if it's the right way to, it's kind of hard to figure out how to do it. If worst comes to worst, I do a tribute band and enlist it as one living member. Maybe I'd make a lot of money that way.
You probably do better as a tribute band.
I'm making fun of myself. It's okay.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
There's so many of these bands. I mean, really, foreigners like that. Everybody, it's
Sweet,
really like that. That is sweet, absolutely.
Well,
But
I might do.
they're still selling out, though. I got to tell you.
Well, I might do it. If it works out. If it works out on paper. Dave Grohl was a big NAC fan, and I thought maybe we could do like a selected run with different, like all stars kind of playing in it.
Wow,
But
that'd be
Dave's breathing right now, so I wouldn't even want to deal with him. And that was a terrible loss of a great, great drummer. And,
Yeah.
a wonderful person. So I got to bring that up. Be careful, Carmine. You outlived a lot of people, and you too.
I know.
Hey,
that.
I'm having my viewing while I'm still alive.
Good idea.
Just look at them.
You look marvelous.
You know what I mean?
But Carmine knew everybody, and the greats, of the greatest of Mitch Mitchell, and who never gets talked about enough.
So what he had to ride in that fucking thing in the Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
But that little motor thing.
I tell you what,
So
my calves were killing me that day. Right?
Oh, geez.
I couldn't-
God.
my girlfriend said,
very
"Let's
quickly-
go one more day." I said, "Let's go home."
Hey, as long as
So
your
I'm
hand
getting
is
a
good,
car.
that's all that matters.
That's right.
I
As
got
long
to
as
meet
you
I
look
saw
good
the
on that
greatest.
scooter.
I saw the greatest T-shirt there. You know how the D with Disneyland's always that swirly D. So the shirt said, "The most expensive day with the D in my life."
Oh, yeah.
I said,
over
I
there.
want to get one of those shirts. I didn't see them anywhere. They must have been got it online or something. It was a great.
It's
shirt.
not like Coney Island. Everything was free.
That's right.
Pretty
Hey,
much.
we got the clips when you're on that metal show.
Okay.
Before we go to it, I don't know, Don, you want to introduce it? Do you want to tell
He
us what
does
we're gonna see?
introduce it.
Yes, here it is. Here's a clip of Carmine on that metal show.
All right.
And
Let's
more
see it.
product placement for my comedy CD when we play a round of Stump the Trunk. So stick around. We'll be right back with more of That Metal Show. Carmine, take us in the break, please.
Look at them.
Ah. I can't hear nothing.
Nice drums.
Wow. Those are Vinny's drums.
Yeah.
Those are my drums.
He was liking it.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, we did.
when-
We split the
when you
month. Vinny did 2 and I did 2.
when you're sitting there, they're talking on stage and it's really quiet.
Yeah.
It's like a studio. It's really dead. I'm almost like ready to take a nap. I'm like, then Don goes, "Take it away, Vinny!" Ah! And all of a sudden you're on stage.
Yeah, on stage.
For a
Hey,
minute.
Ron, you know what? Really quick, you know what I saw a few years ago? I saw Vinny and Carmine tour together when they did their drum off thing.
Oh, yeah,
Drum
Drum Wars.
That was
Drum Wars.
fantastic. I thought it was amazing. I saw you in LA do it, and again, you guys are terrific, and I
It's
love
a good concept, but people don't get it. They think it's like a clinic or something.
You guys were both terrific, and you both play different. And my Gabe was with me. My son.
Well, we got dates coming up in August, and we got ramps on the stage so we could drive those scooters up.
There you go, golf cart. Golf carts would be
I'll
better.
never hear. I'll
Here
never
comes
hear the end of it.
Carmine apiece. Here's a
Carmine
slower.
Scooter apiece.
That would be
Yeah,
great.
he started at 4:00 to get on stage.
I'll never hear the end of it now. Mark my
Oh,
words.
that's
When
terrible.
we do these
That
gigs, he's gonna
visual.
pull it on. He's gonna pull it on me when we do these gigs.
Can I
I'm
get
gonna
that
have 'em.
picture? Can I get the
No.
picture?
No.
Come on, you can get an endorsement for the hover round, Carmine.
And then you can get one of those bathtubs with the door.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And one of those
That was
things
awesome.
that rides up the steps.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh my
it.
God!
Right
just
into
played
the
this
bathtub. You
We
open the
just played
door.
a theater, the Newton Theater in New Jersey, and then you go backstage and go up these stairs to the dressing room, and I had one of those up the steps.
That's a
That was the
bad
Don
sign.
Rickles. God
Looked
bless
like
him.
it looked like it didn't work though.
Oh my God!
Ron, you
That's
got to
the-
get some of those for your theaters, dude.
You know,
Yeah.
lately, we had to get. I was just talking about Don Rickles and Jerry Lewis. We played pretty much their last shows, and we had to do that. Matter of fact, for Don Rickles,
Wow.
we got that hotel across the street. We literally, on his rider and his manager, but made sure that we had to cut down the bed legs to be exactly 27 inches off the ground because he takes pee at night and he will not go to a hotel unless the bed is 27 inches off
Wow.
the ground. That kind of
Really?
stuff. So yeah, a lot of the senior stuff is tough, man.
So
Because
who did it? You had to cut down?
Yeah, I had to have a carpenter do it
Wow.
and had to buy the freaking bed. But
Yeah.
that's a whole other
Oh,
story.
yeah, you did. By the
Hey, I
way.
want that in my rider when we come play there.
Yeah.
Save that.
Obviously.
Save that
I
bed
already-
for Carmine.
I want
No,
a
I got-
scooter. I want a
I
scooter.
know. I got to have that. I got to have Metamucil. I got to have all kinds of stuff for you.
Yeah,
My
that-
goodness.
That's on the rock stars.
Mark
of
my
today.
words. Mark my words. We're playing there in June. I guarantee he's gonna have a scooter there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have it right on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be up in about a half hour, but he just started on stage left. Please welcome.
The drum stool is a box of Depends.
I know. Hello. What I was starting to allude to earlier, Prescott, is the fact that, some of the guys that you hung out with, you played with, talking about George Harrison, talking about jamming with Jimi Hendrix. Of course, your stories with Jeff Beck that Carmine has as well. But George Harrison, give me the experience.
Well, really quickly, I lived in England 73 to 75. As I said, I was dating this girl who was good friends with Derek Taylor's secretary. And Derek Taylor was George's publicist. So anyway, that time in England, I was also good friends with Rose Taylor, which means I met a lot of people that I wouldn't normally meet. So a lot of times we go dance into clubs, and I danced with George. When Stevie Wonder's Inhibitions came out, it was a great time. So at least I kind of knew George. So years later, I get a call in '86 to do a session, and the producer didn't tell me who it was. So I went down to the studio, and luckily I didn't feel as scared as I would have when they told me it was George Harrison. And I just told him I met him. And then he said, and the great thing was, he said, by the way, I heard you're in the knack. I like your record, So that means I didn't have to think I had to become somebody. And it took away a lot of my anxiety, even though, meeting George was a long time ago. But in the session itself was Jim Keltner, who was a great drummer, and Lawrence Cooper played guitar, who had played with Wings as well. But playing with Keltner, Bruce Gowrie used to rush a lot, my knack drummer, and Jim Keltner had everything so far back.
Yeah.
So I'm in the control room cutting with George, who was playing guitar. I'm in the control room. Keltner's outside. And I get a chord chart, one of George's charts, and he's got all these weird diminished augmented chords, and I'm trying to figure how am I going to do this. And I kept praying that nobody would stop the track because I screwed up, And Keltner, I had to play so deep in the pocket, knowing that if I rushed at all or if I sneezed, we'd stop the take. So I was nervous, but luckily we got through it and it didn't stop because of me. And that was for Shanghai Surprise, and the song was Someplace Else. And I was going to get a chance to record on the album, but George went back to England, became good friends with Jeff Lynne, and he made the best album he ever did. So that was my brief experience.
Jeff
with George.
Berlin? Did you say Jeff Berlin?
Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne of ELO.
Oh, Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne's a great bass player, but I met Jeff Lynne, and what a great album he did. And then the Wilburys later on. So
Right.
So that was my brief thing. And Jimi Hendrix, I just met with Velvet Turner, who was supposed to be Jimmy's protege. And we had a group, and I met Jimmy. Didn't play with him, but met him. and watched as Carmine saw so many shows he did. You never knew what you're going to get, and he was so brilliant. It didn't matter, and he cracked jokes, and he was a whole nother person, so to speak. And I saw a number of, and I was at Woodstock as well, which was quite remarkable. And
you were there. You were there. Why were you there? How were you there?
I was there. I hitchhiked. That's how I got there.
Oh, so you were in the audience?
Yeah. I pretended I worked there, so I got a pass, and I was able to get fed and hang out. So
funny about Woodstock, they tried to book Vanilla Fudge, and we said no because we had just did like 3 festivals, and there's such a pain in the ass to get in and out of, with a helicopter or driving. We just said, nah, enough with the festival.
Didn't they offer a scooter too?
Oh my God!
They didn't have scooters then.
What was amazing was, I did a story. I had a hitchhike, and I pretended I was in Santana because nobody knew who they were. But ended up Santana was the most famous band at Woodstock because they blew everybody's mind. So funny story, right?
But there was a lot of those bands that people didn't realize was going to be big. They weren't as big as they were. They ultimately became at Woodstock. That's one of the magical things about Woodstock.
They blew everybody away. Yeah, I was there. And I love Sly and Family Stone were one of my favorite bands. And Greg Errico was another great drummer that nobody ever really talks about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but how about, what blows me away? How about Sha Na Na?
We had seen at the scene, Carmine, Steve Paul's scene. They played there a lot as well.
Yeah.
And they were great.
We remember when we used to do the drum offs, we actually got the drummer from Sha Na Na as one of the judges. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they finished Woodstock. I think they closed Woodstock. I think it was something like that. It's very strange how they, got themselves in there. Don, I got to ask you, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but you're such a freaking funny guy. And what I love about you are the pranks that you guys used to do. And I know you love doing them and some of the whole, that kind of stuff you do over the phone. But can you give me the one that you really killed at, the one you just totally blew someone away with?
Oh, gee. I mean,
There's got to be 100 of them.
You talking about the prank calls or the hidden
the calls,
stuff?
The telemarketer ones.
Yeah. Well, God bless. First of all, go get Prescott's new vinyl before you get any of our silly nonsense. But yeah, Jim Florentine and I, when we were struggling out when we first started doing comedy, we used to go on these long road trips like musicians did to go play this club for $50. You drive 5 hours. There was no hotel room. You barely got paid. There was no stage. The microphone barely worked, and you'd have to drive 5 hours home afterwards. So we just started messing with telemarketers just to tell each other funny stories on the road. And then after like a year, the light went on and was like, maybe we should record some of these. So we actually have 6 volumes of calls on CD called Terrorizing Telemarketer, where we just torture these people, because if you don't curse or say anything offensive, they can't hang up on you. They got a script in front of them. They got to try to get through it. And we just run these guys through the ringer. And there's a million calls out there. People can check them out. I mean, we did one where this guy called to try to help Jim with a mortgage. And I pretended I was the guy from the phone company working on the lines outside. And every time the guy tried to pitch him, I would cut in. I go, I know a guy who can get you a better deal than that. And the guy's like, well, you're working on the phone line. You're not supposed to be cutting in. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like what I'm hearing out here. So, if you don't give him a better price, I'm going to have to cut the line. So we just drove this guy so crazy that he just ended up cursing me out and hanging up. Hey, God bless. We're middle-aged guys, and we make a living doing prank calls. God bless America.
Well, the interesting thing is that you're terrorizing the terrorizers, the actual telemarketers. See, that's the thing. That's the genius approach.
Well, nobody likes them.
I like on the phone now when it comes in telemarketing, on the iPhone.
No, you know what I got on mine? When I get like a dozen a day, which is really cool. Scam Likely.
Yeah, Scam Likely.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know him very well.
I know, right?
Spam.
I think
That's the guy's name.
I think they should put not scam but scum on some of these phone calls. You know what I mean?
Every once in a while, I'll answer them just to see what they say. You know.
Yeah.
And they answer me. I
but
go,
then
"He's
they
not
got you.
here. What do you want? He's not
Yeah,
here."
You should three-way Donnie on the. You should three-way Don on those next time. All right.
Let's record some. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be
You really
fun.
should.
Absolutely.
Really should. Are you? What are you doing, Prescott? I know you mentioned obviously you got the new the album.
There, isn't that pretty?
Oh, is that cool? Look at
Oh,
that.
nice.
It's just
Liberation-
amazing. Isn't it
Liberation
amazing?
Hall did it. And by the way, Liberation
Yeah, I
Hall
mean,
got the record.
it's incredible what's going on with vinyl these days. It's so
Thank you.
wonderful too.
Yeah.
Well, I still got my collections, and my kids stole them all from me because you know the difference between vinyl and non-vinyl. And
Look at that.
But besides the warpage, yeah, there you go. There's
Oh,
some.
what's that one?
What is that?
It's it's not my vinyl, but it's a vinyl, and it's a splatter vinyl.
Yeah.
No, that's
You
nice.
know,
I like that.
What's
A
the
lot of
record?
people don't know. You know the
It's
difference.
it's an act live at the Hollywood Bowl. I mean,
Yeah,
at
the
the House
that
of
is
Blues.
the Hollywood Bowl. But there is a difference, and I mean, I guess cassettes were really good too, by the way, in comparison to what's going on today. But I actually have a platinum cassette from Reality Bites when Sharono came out again, and it did well in that movie. Did you know we were offered to be in Tarantino's movie Pulp Fiction? Did you ever hear that story?
No.
He wanted to use
No.
Sharono in that movie, but the scene he wanted to use it in is when the cowboys, the good old Southern boys, were raping Bruce Willis. And we decided, I said, that's not a good idea because all people are going to see is that scene. Nobody knew
Fair
Pulp Fiction would be what it became. But Ben Stiller called us, and luckily we're in the right movie. So I thought that would be a good
But you were in
choice.
another movie. Was it Valley Girl?
Hudson Valley Girl. Yeah, I was playing with Josie Cotton after one of the Knack breakups, and we were just doing this cheap movie and some, these cheap scenes, and it became a cult movie. And I was playing in the band and had a rockabilly hairdo, and it was a lot of fun. Josie Cotton's still around, and I played on a couple of her albums. She's still playing in LA, which is fabulous,
I remember her.
So
Yeah,
what's
she's
going?
cool.
Don,
It's
what's
funny.
happening with?
They always put "You Keep Hanging On" in gangster movies or something that killing people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Sopranos.
Like in Sopranos, the last episode they ended up killing people. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the last 6 minutes when they're killing everybody, we're playing underneath that.
That's right.
It's like
Talk
Well,
about
they
a
should
trophy.
have kicked me for a little while, which would have been
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite songs you guys did in the first
yeah, it
album.
was
You
a
know?
great song. Yeah,
And
it's
Tim was
always
brilliant.
hanging on. They always want hanging on to kill people.
Yeah, well, yeah. they
I
do.
just found the mastering. You remember we used to master things? They give you an acetate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just found You Keep Hanging On acetate.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah,
That's got to be a
That would be
collector's
good.
item.
yeah.
Absolutely. That was a great great album. The second album too. Now a lot of people don't know, but I like your version
Oh.
of Bang Bang. I know that was
No, that's the first album.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Second album was
Second album was the one that
The Beat
killed
Goes
me.
On, right? The Beat Goes
Yeah.
On, correct?
Yeah, The Beat Goes On. Oh, horrible.
Yeah.
Ruined,
That was
ruined
our
my
second
career.
album too. Ah,
The
you know.
best thing on
It's
that
pretty
album
awful.
was Moonlight Sonata. We did Moonlight Sonata and Fleur de
I
Lis.
remember
was
that,
good.
yeah.
Oh,
The rest
really?
of it was horse shit. Really bad.
Terrible.
Yeah.
We
That
Boy,
was
when your
all
little brother
Shadow
says
Morton.
it's terrible.
Shadow Morton and what's his name?
Ahmed
Ahmed. Thank you. Them two guys. Yeah.
Erdogan
I'm
Here's
a
our-
again,
from
yeah.
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bit of that second album jinx too, because after you have a big hit like Sharona, you just can't put out any other song
I
and
know.
expect it to be charting. And then after we broke up, luckily we got back together. We got a chance to work with Jack Douglas on our third album called Round Trip. Was to me the best recorded, the best sounding, and showed our musicianship. And if anybody's not heard it, they should. And Bruce's drumming was phenomenal. And Jack Douglas is one of the premier producers of the time. He did
great.
Aerosmith
Yeah,
and a lot of other people. And that's the best sounding album we ever made. So if anybody's interested, they should check that out, I think.
Hey, you know what I was wondering, Prescott? Did you ever hear along the way about, because I mean, My Sharona, and still to this day, such a huge rock song. But like when it was a big hit back then, did you hear about a lot of parents naming their daughters Sharona
Yeah.
after that?
They'd always come up to me at a show. And some guy says, that was the night we made love, and I don't want to hear it. But yeah, but we call our daughter Sharona. I said, great. I hope she was a girl at the time. Not,
Yeah, right.
there were people like this come up, and Sharona is a very common name in Israel. It's equivalent to Sharon. But that added to the mystique of the song, because people had asked me, what's a Sharona? And I said, you don't know what it is? I said, it vibrates. I don't know.
Well, can you imagine? Can you imagine how many female real estate agents there are around because of you guys?
I think there's a lot of.
I had people coming up saying they named their dog Carmine.
Their dog.
Well, that's a good one.
It's better than naming your daughter Fudge.
Anyway, by the way, having a name like Prescott, growing up in Brooklyn, and all my friends were
How did that happen?
What do you mean? How did it happen?
You got your balls busted. That's for sure.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I used to run through the schoolyard to be chased. Only when they read roll, I was going to Scott or Scotty, but when they did roll call and they said Prescott under my desk because I know I get a beating at the schoolyard, right, Carmine?
A beating.
Hey, Prescott.
I had it.
Prescott, do you know what Brooklyn and pantyhose have in common?
No.
Flatbush.
That's one for you,
good.
That's an old Brooklyn joke.
It is.
And so many people haven't heard it. It's amazing.
No,
not on this show. Everybody's heard it on this show.
We didn't hear that in New Jersey. Sorry.
You know what's so strange though, real quick, is the fact that all these areas like Bushwick, Brownsville, places I was on a basketball team. That's only, token white person on the team, but we used to play all these areas. Now they're all gentrified. Back then, like Williamsburg, you just wouldn't go there. And it's just
exactly.
Amazing how things
What about where they had that shooting on the subway? I used to go there all the time to that stop to go to Sunset Park, the pools.
Yeah. I used to take the LL, which last stop was Canarsie, which is like near the freaking
Canarsie. Wow.
Is that the one that went by Newchurch High School?
Yeah, Livonia and East New York and all those interesting stops. I'm lucky I still have the bass I used to travel with.
I used to go get drum lessons. I got on what was the D train at Ditmas Avenue. I go to Avenue U, and I had these like 3 or 4 black guys come up to me and go, "Hey, drummer boy, hey, drummer boy, give me your money."
Give me your money.
What money?
I gave him the
I'm a drummer. What money?
For my drum lesson.
That's all I had. It's an interesting time. And,
Don, I got to ask you. I see that Jamieson show logo behind you. It's been looking quite similar to another logo.
It does.
What's going on with anything with?
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Yeah. But the metal show is anything going on with that? You guys getting together again with Eddie and the boys?
Yeah, well, no, we all still hang out and stuff. We still see each other all the time. But I do, I do this webcast, and Vinny and Carmine have both been on. And, it's sort of like my way of keeping the spirit of the show alive in case it does come back sometime. It's like, when Tony Iommi did Black Sabbath with like those 15 different singers, like in the middle there. So finally Ozzy came back, and then eventually Ronnie again. So I'm just keeping the space warm and doing my thing. And, truthfully, man, it's not even about the money. It's these guys know I'm the real deal. I love this music so much, all things rock, hard rock, heavy metal. And I just want to always be doing my part to keep it alive and let people know it's out there, man.
So is your show? Is your show, your live show, is it strictly stand-up? You bring a guitarist with you?
No, my live show, no, it's just me talking into a mic. It's very exciting.
Thrilling, I think is a better word.
Wait, it's talking to the mic with that logo behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't have those I can't make requests like Don Rickles does. Right? I sleep at the Red Roof Inn, and I stand in front of whatever they give me.
Well, I tell you what, that broke so much ice. I mean, that show was just wonderful, and I just can't believe the concept of that show isn't still happening, because that metal show, it transcends to what's going on even today. It could be it's the relevance is never lost on that concept.
Why did they take it off?
Well, the whole VH1 Classic, the network we were on, went away.
Oh.
So hey, you got to give us credit. We know how to get a show canceled, right? Not only does the show go away, we take down the whole friggin' network with us.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Taking
ironic,
network.
this being our show tonight.
Oh,
but
shit.
But wasn't there somebody that could take the show to another place like Reels or Access TV or something?
Yeah, you would think, but yeah, we got some offers over the years, but yeah, it's the same thing like dealing with record companies, man. It's like you're trying to find the right fit, and then
Yeah.
you think you're in bed with somebody good, and then it turns out they have herpes, and then you don't, next thing you know, it's like you're back where you started again. So we like everybody, man, we appreciate that people remember, and if the time comes, like I said, we're all still good friends, and hopefully we'll do it.
Yeah.
So let me ask, we got a couple minutes left, and actually we're going to be revamping the show a little bit. We're going to take a couple weeks off.
No, I'm taking it down after this. This is the last
I know,
show.
you're done. We're canceled after
It's
tonight.
just canceled now.
Well, now that you're on, it's fucking canceled.
Don's
I
on.
know, man, how ironic. But I did want to actually talk to my other guests, Vinny and Carmine, and we've been doing this now this is our 86th episode. Been doing it over
Holy
2 years.
shit.
I know. Vinny, do you have besides getting, I know I'm just throwing this on you, but you have a favorite moment? You have a memory from this show that sticks out to you?
No.
I didn't think so. How about you, Carmine?
I think for me it was when we had Tim Bogart's tribute here, when we had
Wonderful.
Joe Bonamassa and then all the great guys. It was just really, for me, it's touching.
I think my favorite moment was the last one with Ron with his. He was what were you, knighted by the Italian?
Oh yeah.
And
That was very funny. That was a very.
That was
funny
a
show.
funny one. We had to call him Sir Don.
No.
Ron.
Consolari. What was it? Consolari? What do we call
Yeah,
it?
what
No,
is-
I was knighted by the president of Italy. Believe it or not, I was in New York.
President
I'll be
of
in
Italy.
Italy next week. It's Cavaliere.
Cavalieri.
But that's
Yeah,
the whole other
Cavaliere.
thing.
Hey,
And
Ron,
he
I
had
gotta
the,
say-
the suit too. He had
you know
the
what's
suit on.
amazing to me? We have like so many years of rock history, just between Carmine, myself, and Vinny, and different styles of rock, and it's remarkable. And as you can tell from the Grammys, rock is not very important anymore. Not that the
No.
Grammys matter. And I think hopefully we'll open more hearts and minds to the greatness of all the great records you play with Vinny and Ozzy and everybody, and let alone hundreds of other people, and you, Carmine, as well. And I just think it's important that we keep playing, because a lot of people can't sit at home on a computer and necessarily create what we created as groups.
Especially
And
Well, I gotta tell
Rock and Roll Hall
ya-
of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of
You
Fame.
couldn't program him on a computer,
No.
or any of the drum parts you guys played,
No.
We're
Well,
still
you know
playing.
what, Prescott, along to what you just said, again, I'm on the other side. I'm the one, I have my places house, these bands from the 60s, a couple from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a little bit of the 90s. And I got to tell you, my favorite part about these shows, people ask, who's your favorite performer? What was your favorite band that you had? And I really can't come up with that, because when I'm backstage and I'm watching, I introduce the band and I'm not watching the artist, I'm watching the audience, and they still love their music so much. And it means so much to people. And we're selling out, and people are coming out in droves. 12-year-olds are coming out with Zeppelin shirts on, and Knack shirts, and Vanilla Fudge shirts, and Theo shirts. It's really, really cool. That I think rock and roll absolutely does have a future. Don't know this whole Grammy thing and everything. I really think the Grammys are on their way out. I really, really do.
yeah, but it's just indicative of the charts too. It's very
Sure, we know
really
that,
strange,
but I don't. But classic rock and all the stuff that you guys have done is just incredible. And really, it's an honor to have you, Prescott, on our show this week.
very much so. Thank you so
Once
much.
again, tell me again how we can get that album.
Buy
that comes out,
a record, Slim Whitman. Buy him my record. Remember him? He used to have this thing
$29.95.
yeah, this Liberation Hall put this out. The record's available. I did Licorice Pizza the other day, and the album and the CD and streaming will be available on, I think, 5th or 6th of May, and you guys can check it out. It's pretty good for a live show. And again, it was was a special night after 2001. By the way, playing live now with masks coming off, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you get so much from a face. And when people, I mean, mask, we know it, but in the audience, I want to get feedback. And if you're just looking at eyes, you're not getting anything. And I love to see people's expressions and talking and yelling. I'm glad it's coming back because it was really bizarre.
We should all go on strike and take our stuff off of that Spotify and all that shit.
Well, that's controversial. Joe Rogan, ask him about it.
Yeah, right. He'll give you an hour on that.
Hey, Don.
Well, that's a censorship.
Don, did you do shows with people in the audience with masks on where you can't see them laugh?
Yeah. It was,
that must have been weird.
Brutal.
That was tough. Yeah. Now they take the masks off so I could see them not laughing. So I said, put the mask back on.
You're great.
That is so funny.
That's like you see a beautiful chick, you think beautiful eyes and everything. You say, hey, take your mask off. And you go, put it back on.
Yeah.
Well, not that really, but meeting a girl at a club recently, I said, hi, two things. Can I lower it a little bit? Can I see your vaccination card? I mean, that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got both
never thought I'd be
cracks in the teeth.
Well,
hey, Donnie,
what about all the people that got cosmetic surgery and they couldn't show it off? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, very strange times. And I hope we're coming out of it, man.
Boob jobs, they wear bras, so I guess it's
right.
You can't say that.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Ron.
Don, what you got coming up, buddy? You hitting the road again?
Yeah, I'm out. I've been out opening for some rock bands actually, which has been fun. I opened for Quiet Riot a few weeks ago, and I'm out opening for Kicks tomorrow night in New Jersey at the Landis Theater. So for people in Jersey,
I mean, this is a business question here because I would love to bring you in for that stuff. I've tried that with other people far not superior to you, far under your level. But I mean, people are there to rock and roll. They're there to freaking bang their head. They're there, and a comic walks out. I mean, I'm not kidding aside. That's a serious talent to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Are you? I mean, is your material customized to the act, to music, or are you just doing your stuff?
Yeah, no, it's a lack of shame more than any kind of bravery. But because when we were doing that metal show, all these guys would come on and be like, hey, that might be fun to have a comic, because it used to be cool years ago, comics opening for bands, and then it was so not cool forever. And then I just thought, wow, that'd be awesome to start bringing that back again. So when I do direct support to a band, I do a 30-minute set. It's all music material. I'm talking about Ozzy. I'm talking about Black Sabbath. I'm talking about all the Alice Cooper, all the bands that we love. So it keeps it in the family, and it's not so weird. And I have the recognition factor with the crowd. So it kind of works out, and I kind of bring the same intensity as a band would too,
Well, that sounds amazing. We'll be in touch, Don. All the best to you on the road.
Your place is the only venue I've never played. Thank you.
I promise.
Hint.
I promise you, because I love you. I think you're an awesome guy and a funny guy. So I wish you the best. Prescott, again, rock and roll royalty. Thank you for being with us tonight. Wish you the best with the new record, new old record.
You. And Missing Persons, we sound pretty good. So we're doing a bunch of shows, and again, it's an honor to still healthy and still playing, and we've come out of a very strange time here, and I hope we're all.
So Missing Persons is on the road?
Oh yeah, we're playing that big festival, Cruel World.
Oh, you said that. Yes.
And we're playing the Hollywood Bowl, I think, at the end of the summer in the Greek. So it's pretty cool. That's part of a combination band.
Got it.
And I'm playing tomorrow night. We're playing tomorrow night. That's Friday at the Hudson Paramount Theater up in Peekskill with Vanilla Fudge.
And Vinny, when are you not playing?
I'm not playing. I'm off now. No, actually, I'm doing Joel Holstra's new album right now.
Yeah.
Back there with the drums. We finished. Viv's out with Def Leppard, and then we continue in September.
Right.
And so I like being home right now.
So we get to do some Drum Wars gigs now.
And we're doing some gigs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. All right, guys. And once again, I want to thank our guest, Don Jamieson, Prescott Niles. I want to thank my brothers, Vinny and Carmine, for being with us. And it's a great run we've had. Again, we're going to take a couple weeks off, but we are still going to keep rocking and rolling with some of the best classic reruns of Hangin' and Bangin' over the last few months, over the last 86 episodes. I want to thank everybody for joining us each week on Hanging and Banging. We hope everybody stays healthy, stay safe, stay happy, and keep on rocking. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys real soon. Love you.